I was at a women's church group, and these two girls were crazy fun. They just come in their overalls and they're like, we're going to teach you how to texture walls today. And I was like, okay. And the experts, or any of you that have helped an expert or somebody that really knows what they're doing, and look away. But if you're going to do a lot, I would get this. Had made his own with just this size square and a wood handle. Okay. That's basically all you will need tool-wise. Oh, this is all-purpose, called joint compound. It's my little barn bathroom. It is I call this patchwork sheetrock. It's the worst ever. They had it all done, and then the guy and he researched that there's supposed to be special waterproof sheetrock, so then they redone it. Look at this. Okay, this piece just went ahead and fell down, right? So fill those screw holes in, mix your mud with some water, and I like it to be where it will make peaks on your tool or on your hand. Is a good way to test that out. So this is mesh tape and this is paper tape. One is good for your corners. Right here it's pre-bent, and you just stick mud on and then put the tape over it. And the mesh tape, you can just stick it on the wall and then put the joint compound over it, and you'll just see how that works here. I'm just doing little bitty spots, but you normally do the tape the whole length of the wall. This is the worst job ever, but this is just the scratch coat because this is unlevel and all that, and that's fine. So I did a little piece of that under here, and then over here I love working with this. It has a little bit of stick in it. And so I just put a little, you can put it on before you put any texture in there, but I go ahead and fill in this groove a little bit and then put this over it and then put a skim coat over it. So it's still going to look like crap. Okay. The really good professionals will do like, oh my gosh, so many coats, and then they sand in between. This is just one style of texture. You can do it so many other ways. I'm just giving you an example of how I do it. A lot of them, not all of them, have those cheesy little, they do not texture it. They put this cheesy little strip, and usually it's going vertical instead of horizontal. And I've seen people texture over that like that. No, I do not. I pull that sucker off, and you're gonna have like a gap foot tooth. And take that tape. It's cheap. It takes a little time. It is so worth it. I even did one that had like a paper tape over the gaps. And what I did is just kind of floated a little bit of thick texture over it, built it up so that you couldn't really see. You know, it wasn't a thick strip, it was just a thick paper, and textured. It is so worth the time. It will look so much higher end. Pull the strips off. Like, I like it. I don't like it so runny that there's not some peaks on this when you pull it out. You just kiss the wall with it by turning it. You don't want perfect squares. Oh, you can do this with paneling. I filled just like the cracks here. I just filled it in with a heavy duty joint compound, like a really thick one, quick drying one. Filled all those lines in. It shrinks a little bit, so I went back and kind of filled it in again and then did this. You cannot tell it is not textured wall. And now all you do, this is it. A light hand, kind of a 45 to, like say this is a wall. I'm going to go like that. This is called knockdown. Just slightly knock it down. This is where the magic happens. I love this. After this dries for 24 hours, this is something I have skipped, but I'm going to tell you, do what I say and not what I do, okay? I'll tell you, 24 hours. This is literally an old broom that's screwed onto. This is for doing this step with sheetrock, and it's super easy to put on. There are different grits. You just need the very most gentlest one. And you just literally, it takes this long. but you'll want to wear a face mask. It's going to get dust everywhere. And what this does is there's going to be little bitty peaks that aren't, it's just barely on there. And what will happen is if you don't do this step, you'll paint it, it dries, you go like this. Literally breaking it down on. It's do as I say and not as I do. Don't wash it down your kitchen sink. It's rock. It's sheetrock mud. It will harden back up and it just won't be good. Go outside and rinse it off. Mama says go outside, but Mama doesn't always do that. I hope my husband's not watching. Okay. Oh, this, guys, you can just go on and on and on with this. Life is too short for flat walls. I know they're popular, but they're boring. Let's put some texture back into our life, because when you add and layer colors, it is so much more fun. I'm gonna wrap it up. They say to leave the party before they're ready for you to leave the party, and then they'll want you to come back. I have a problem with that because I love to party. My kids say, Mom, you don't need a makeover, you need a make under. I'm sorry. I believe in wearing my prom makeup every day, and it's like that with my walls. Let's just make pretty layers and colors and textures.